Hello, and welcome to this video on how to create an email address. Now, the first thing you want to do is go to the desktop of your computer, like I have here. Now, I also have this magnifier open. This is just to show things bigger on the screen, so it's easy for you to see, but you do not need to have this magnifier open on your computer. So, first thing we need to do to create an email address is go onto a web browser. Now, web browsers are what let you go onto websites. Here, I have 6 different web browsers. Now, you should have one of these on your desktop as an icon. You may have Internet Explorer, Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Google Chrome, Opera, or if you're using a Mac or Macintosh computer, then you may have Safari. Now, whichever one of these you have on your desktop, it doesn't matter which one you use, they all do the exact same thing. I'm going to use Microsoft Edge, and to open the web browser, I'm going to put my mouse on it and double click. This has now opened. If yours doesn't open full screen, like this, you can go to the corner where there's this square button called Maximize, and clicking this will return it to the full size. Okay, in order to have an email address, you have to choose an email provider. Now, there are quite a few. For example, Google, Microsoft, Yahoo. But the one which I'm going to use for this demonstration is Google. Now, Google's email service is called Gmail. So to get to their website, I'm going to move my mouse up here, click into this, which is called the address bar, and I'm going to type in gmail.com. And to go onto this website, I'm going to press my enter key, which is also called a return key, and it would take me to that website. Now, the Gmail homepage has loaded. So where you want to go is just down here, you have a Create Account button. Click this. You have two options, for myself or for my business. As this is a personal account, we're going to click for myself. It's taken us onto this page to enter some personal details. So first of all, click into the first name box and type in your first name. Next, click into the last name box, enter your last name. The next box here is for your username, or the name of your email address. Google has automatically suggested one here, but it's not very easy to remember. It's a bit of a mix of letters and numbers. So what I'm going to do is double click on what they've put there, and I'm going to press the delete button. On the keyboard, you can either press the one called backspace or the one called delete. They'll both delete it. Now to choose what you want to call your email address. A good idea is to start with your name, but you have to remember you cannot use spaces or the space bar in your email address. So any spaces are best replaced with a full stop, also called dot. So to enter the name Joe Blogs, I'm going to enter joe.blogs. And that would be a good place to start for my email address. I'm not going to forget that. joe.blogs@gmail.com. So now I'm going to go on to proceed to password. But you'll notice it's giving me a red error message here. Username is taken. Now that's because somebody has already created an email address called joe.blogs@gmail.com. Now, if you have a common name, you may well find that your name is already taken. But this isn't an issue. All we have to do is add something else onto the end of the email address. Now, you want this to be something memorable for you. It could be your favorite football team, your favorite color, could be a hobby of yours. So I'm going to try joe.blogs.blue. Okay, so now let's proceed on and see if it lets us have that username by clicking in password. Wonderful. That's all fine. We don't get the error message this time. That means nobody has joe.blogs.blue@gmail.com, and so we're going to take that. as our new email address, joe.blogs.blue@gmail.com. Great. So now we're going to move on to setting a password. Okay, now to set a password. When typing into this box, Google will automatically obscure what you're typing with these dots. Now, it's a lot easier to set your password if you can read it. So if you move over to the side, see this eye icon? Click on this, and it then shows you what you're typing. Okay, now before we set our password, it's important that you choose a secure password. If you choose a really easy password, such as your name, if I put Joe Blogs as my password, it's too easy, somebody could guess that, and that would mean somebody could get access to my email account. So, I've attached in the description of this video a link to a very useful MSN video about how to create a secure password. Please have a look at this link, follow it, and come up with your own secure password that you can use for your email. To give you an example, I'm going to set a really obvious, easy, no good password here, just password 1. I'm going to type it in the first box and then type the exact same thing into the second box. Now, because this is not a secure password, it's too easy. When I click next, it doesn't let me. It says, please choose a stronger password. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is create a strong password based on that video that I've attached. The first step of this video is to choose a phrase. So the phrase I'm going to choose is, you are my sunshine. Now, as per that guide, I'm going to take the first 2 letters of each word and type them in here. So, you are my sunshine. Okay? Now, the second part of that guide was to replace certain letters with symbols. So I'm going to replace my S's with $signs because I think that that's quite easy to remember. S's as $signs. And I'm going to make one more change. I'm going to replace the AR for the word R with just a capital R, like you are my sunshine. And there we go. That's a nice secure password. It's easy to remember, you are my sunshine, but it's not easy for people to guess because it doesn't read like a normal word. And to anybody apart from me, it doesn't really mean anything. So that's a good secure password. Now that I've got that, I'm going to type the exact same thing into the confirm box. You are my $sun shine. Perfect. So now what I'm going to do is press next. And that's great. It's accepted that password and that email address. On to the next page, it wants some more details from you. The first one it's asking for is phone number. Now this is optional. It's up to you whether you want to give Google your telephone number. It's not essential, but if you were to forget your password, as part of the security steps to try and recover your password, one of the things that they may do is a phone or text your telephone number. So it's handy to have, but it's not essential. Similarly, they're asking for a recovery email address. Now, this is only relevant if you have multiple email addresses. It means if you forget the password to your new email address, they can send a reminder to a different email address. But seeing as we're creating your first email address here today, we're not going to use this. Next is ask for date of birth. Now, again, Google doesn't need to know your date of birth, and it doesn't really matter what you put in here. However, if you forget your password one day and you go through the security questions to recover your password, one of the questions you might be asked is your date of birth. So you need to know what you had put in order to be able to recover your password. I'm just going to put the 1st of January 2000 because I can remember that. Lastly on here, we have gender. Again, it really doesn't matter as to telling Google what your gender is, so I'm just going to click rather not say. Okay, now I'm going to press next. What we're shown here is all the terms and conditions of creating a Gmail account. It tells you what they'll do with your information, with your data, how they process it. Now, you're welcome to read through this, make sure you're comfortable with it, make sure you understand it. But I know that you are not able to proceed unless you agree. So I'm going to agree to both of these. But as I said, please do take your time and read through it if you want to. And I can now press Create Account. After doing that, it will ask you to confirm one more time that you're happy with the terms and conditions. As I said, please read through if you would like to, but I'm going to click Confirm. Now, it may look like the page is not doing anything, but if you look in the corner and see this spinning circles, that means that the page is loading. We must just wait. Perfect. This page is now loaded. If you see a little greeting message such as this, just click OK to get rid of it. And now what we see is your email inbox, and you've already got your first email here from Google. So let's click on it to read. It says hello and welcomes you. Now, you do not need to sign out of your email address, but should you wish to, you go up here to where it'll have your initial. I put my name as a Joe, so it's giving me a J. Go down to sign out. And there you go. It signed me out. So now I'm just going to show you, if you come back to your computer one day and you want to sign in to your email address, I'm going to go back to Microsoft Edge like I did before. I'm going to go to gmail.com and press return like before. And it's got my email address remembered for me here. I'm going to click on that. It's then going to ask me for my password. If you want to see it, press the I. You are my sunshine. Press next. You may get a message like this about protecting your account. This is just telling you, look, we didn't set a recovery phone number nor a recovery email, and that's okay. You can update these if you want, put in your recovery number, recovery email address, or just simply click confirm to continue. And here we are back to your email inbox. If you wish to send an email, go up here to compose. Here you will enter the email address of the person you wish to send an email to. So I'm going to send it to myfriend@gmail.com. I'm going to put the subject as hello, I have email. Here I can type, my friend, just letting you know I have email now. Thanks, Joe. And then you can press send. And there you go. You've just sent your first email. Now, one last thing I'd like to show you. You may one day want to access your email on somebody else's computer, in which case it's not going to remember your email address by default. So I'm going to show you on a different web browser, just to show as if you're using somebody else's computer. Going to press on this square to maximize like before. I'm going to go to the address bar, type in gmail.com. Now here, as if I was on somebody else's computer, I would have to type my own email address in. So if you remember, we did first name, last name, and then I put favorite color, blue. Then you need to put the @gmail.com. Press next. It's asking for password. Again, we can press the I to view that and type you are my sunshine. Press next. And there we go. You're back to your email inbox once again. Now, I hope you found that video useful, and best of luck with your new email account. Thank you.